Good morning, everybody. My name is Jens Lindenberg. I'm responsible for our business in Europe. With me, I have Kelvin Volley, who is responsible for our business in UK and Ireland, and Vikas Surani, who is Senior Global Pre-Sales and will guide us through most of the hour here today. We will talk to you today about Oracle Cloud and eBusiness Suite 12.1, what options you have now that eBusiness Suite 12.1 is running out of service at some time. So we show you a little bit about the paradigm shift around this. What options do you have throughout this session here, and what the transformation journey would look like. And then we would come with some closing notes at the end. Throughout the session, we will come up with some questionnaires in between to get a better understanding of what is important for you guys. And we will then be opening up for some question and answers. So said that, a quick overview to what and who is Evosys. Evosys is a 100% dedicated Oracle Cloud partner. We work around the globe. We currently have 1,500 experts throughout the world implementing Oracle solutions, and only Oracle solutions. We are pure Oracle partner. Within Oracle, we implement ERP, EPM, SCM, HCM, develop solutions on PaaS, vertical solutions, like solutions for the higher education, for engineering and construction, workforce scheduler solutions, and so on. Today we have a total of roughly 1,100 cloud customers around the world that we delivered with a proven technology, proven implementation technology. We call it Adopt. You will hear a bit more about this later on, and in specific, we will talk to you about Glide. Evosys Glide is the program we have and tools that we did build in order to move from a current EBS, but also from PeopleSoft, SAP in Unit 4 into a cloud, Oracle Cloud environment. For that, we did receive quite a lot of awards already, also on the global, but also on the regional basis. One of the recent ones was the Global HCM Solution, Global HCM Award, and the European Regional HCM Award. And by that, I would then hand over to Vikas to run us through the first topic, the paradigm shift.
Thank you, Jens. Myself, Vikas Surani. I help customers to plan the digital transformation roadmap and help them to make sure that the baseline is good, and then we are trying to achieve the benchmark which we would like to get out of the program which we have. To understand more about you, I will take a pause over here for a few seconds and put one poll just to understand where you guys are coming from, which kind of let's say division you are from. So at least whenever I put forward a message, I make it more personalized for you and put it that way. So that should be a poll in front of you. If you can just put forward your feedback on that, so that I know what kind of team we are going to talk today. Yeah. Thank you. We are getting a response right now. I can see the numbers are getting filled. And this is going to be a pattern, but I'm going to make sure we carve out the overall presentation with regards to tailor-made what audience we have and what kind of discussion we would like to have. In between, if you have any questions, that you will be able to see a question and a chat box over there. So you're open to put your question as and when you receive. Either we'll take it at a section break or we'll take it at the end of Q&A. And whatever the questions which are not getting answered during the presentation, considering the timeline, we'll be sharing an email response back to you wherever we see the necessity of it. Having said that, I will close the poll right now. Thank you. I can see more than 85% are been responded. And as you can see, I can see the combination of IT as well as business, where 35% are from the business side, and we can see a lot of them are from IT. And this is a scenario or the combination of the people who are also looking forward to have a business case and make sure we go for a digital transformation journey. So happy to have both kind of people over here. And my complete presentation with regards to the journey would be the combination of the business value which you get and how it the technology becomes an enabler of achieving that. If I take a paradigm shift part over here, the way we are currently working and the ability to respond with current system which we have is not going to work to understand and make sure we achieve the pace of change. So the pace of change is exponential in nature, but the way we are responding is not allowing us to reach to the need what we have in the market. That is basically because of the constraint which we have for the infrastructure, the processes which have been embedded in the ERP systems which we are currently using, which have been implemented long years back, and the resources which has been working currently are not empowered well enough to make use of the best processes and the system. On top of it, we have the COVID-19 situation where the acceleration of the digital transformation is going to be higher than before. Primarily, one is going to be the digital workplace, where work from home is going to be the new normal, and the customers would need to have a different channels to buy the services with regards to the vendors or what they're providing to. Second is going to be more about the visibility of a value chain. So it is not going to be a physical part where we would require to go and check what is the inventory currently available, what is the stock which we have, which we want to put forward, whether the transportation of that particular goods and services will be happening at right way or not. This needs to be a digital way, and we would require to have a value chain of end-to-end process. That is what the current need we are seeing. And this need is not going to stop over here. So we believe the change is going to be constant and it's going to be accelerate like anything. And to achieve this new normal, we would require a good technology which can help us to float around the time where we are. The new products, the way many of the products are becoming service organization. So that is how we see the new models are coming in picture with regards to the business model. If I take a step back and just see what others are saying, so I've taken a two viewpoint. One is from the Gartner and second is from the IDC. If I take a case of Gartner, then we can see from the IT part specifically to the IT team who are currently present in this webinar, the on-premises system investment. So particularly when we see about the reality part, it's all about demand and the supply part. The demand of the on-premises systems is decreasing with the time we are going. So that is the Gartner viewpoint and the discussion what the survey which they have taken. You can also see the cloud part, which is uprising with regards to the exponential growth. And by year 2022, the spending is going to be increasing with regards to cloud, and it is going to diminish the on-premises spending. If you see majority of the vendors, the spend which they are making with regards to the R&D part and the investment with regards to the technology, it is going in cloud. The same is the case where the demand and the request of the new system on cloud is increasing from the customer and the end user end. If I take the similar point of view from IDC, the worldwide public spending, which is currently around $229 billion in 2019, in next 5 years, it has been put forward as a $500 billion. That is how the public cloud services are going to be embraced going forward. I would like to take a pause and take if there are any questions and then go to the specific pointers with regards to today's session about the e-business suite and how Oracle Cloud can help us to get it. Jens, do we have any questions in the chat box we would like to take, or we can go to the next part after this? Let me just do a quick check. Nope, I don't see any question. So I'll continue this part. So now I'll be talking more about the specific items which systems are using, how is the current deployment model. We see the cloud is the way to go, and IDC and Gartner are also putting it forward. Now let's try to see where are you currently with regards to your deployment? So you must be having one or the other ERP system. If you can help me understand what kind of deployment model of your ERP system is currently in your organization, that will help me to put forward the information from the next slides, which is more with regards to the e-business suite system. Yeah, I can see 35% voted. Yeah, appreciate if you can just fill out this. The more the data we have, the better the analysis and the viewpoint I'll be able to provide to you. Yeah, thank you, Sean. We have one very good point with regards to best of breed solution which you have. Yeah, thank you. I can see 70% what has been done. So I will close the line right now and will publish the results. So if you see the audience which we have, that is something which we have seen as a traditional on-premises system, where either it is sitting in their own data center or it is hosted in other part of the place. Interestingly, we can also see hybrid feature. I guess Sean mentioned about let's say having best of breed system. That is where the picture comes in, where some of the systems would be on premises and some of the solutions are currently sitting on a cloud as a coexistence model. And that is also we are seeing in the market with many of our customers which we are serving, when they start with some of the component and then they put forward a cloud transformation journey. A few of them are not sure about where they are currently, but that's okay. We understand about the part where we are currently, and we'll be working for our business part. Now, many of you who are aware regarding the e-business suite, the system is in business from last 20 years. So from 1998, we are currently sitting in 2020. The system is live and robust. It has helped many of the business top 500 Fortune companies are using it. So there is no saying that the system is not equipped at this point of time. But everything has good things has to end. And considering the same situation, what was good, let's say 10 years before, is not necessarily good at this point of time. If you see the journey what e-business suite has taken forward from the year 2004, the release which are coming from one to another are almost taking 5 years to do that. Not only that, if we take the customer perspective, and when we did a survey with regards to how many of the e-business suite customers are doing upgrade in let's say 2 years, the answer was very negative in that case. Most of the customers which you have seen are doing upgrade in 5 years of time. So that is the cycle which we have been seeing in a traditional model. Currently, the latest release is 12.2.9 as we speak in 2009. And I'm not sure how many of you know, but there is a recent announcement in April by Oracle stating about what will be the future of the e-business suite system. So let me straight away take you to that part. So the roadmap of e-business suite from the starting of 12.1 in 2009, we are seeing 10 releases in a 10 year. So you can see one release per year. That is the cycle which is happening currently. Now, it has been clearly stated by Oracle that the e-business suite is going to go in a continuous innovation model. That means that you are never going to have 12.3. All the version till the end of services are going to be continued with the version of 12.2.x. So that is one point I would like you to take a note of it. Second is about the major upgrade. So you're never going to see a major upgrade like you got from 11i to R12 and then R12.1 to 12.2. So this kind of things are not going to happen going forward. If we take the case of this one, the release part, which is in December 2021. So that is the premier support which we are currently having in this part. Nivedha, I'm sure you are able to see the presentation at this point of time, or is it the poll which you are currently seeing?
We are able
Hello?
to see now.
Okay,
We are able
thank
to
you.
see us.
Thanks, Nivedha. The release 12.1 is going to be ended support by December 2021. And I'm sure that whoever currently are sitting on 12.1 are paying the premium support pricing to Oracle Cloud. The second important point is about 12.2, which is going to be continuous innovation till the year 2031, which was previously 2030, which has been extended one more year in last month. With that point, I would like to know now how many of you are currently sitting on which system. So if we can have that information, I'll be providing the information with regards to how we can create a digital transformation journey for you and how we can be enabler to achieve that part. So if you can help me fill this quick poll about which current systems are you using, then I'll be taking forward the subsequent slides. Yeah, as expected, I guess a lot of them are sitting in 12.1, so that is something would be really interesting to know how you guys are planning forward about the 12.1 system which you have. Interestingly, we are seeing SAP customers also, so that's a good sign. Yeah, we factored out this a couple of years back, and we know what are the ways where we can help SAP customers who are currently sitting on, let's say, enterprise central component, which is the ECC, or HCM success factor. So we have a specific solution how we can help them to carve out that digital transformation journey. I have around 70% of the votes currently. So if I share the results with you, we are almost hitting 50% of the audience currently are sitting on 12.1, somewhere either in 1 or 1 to 9, the numbers of the version. We see around 17% of SAP customers who are either sitting probably in ECC or SuccessFactor or the BPC component, which are the offering of SAP side. And some of them are not really sure. So let me put out the journey for the 50% of the people, and for the rest of the people, how Oracle Cloud can benefit and what are the options which are available to consider for your transformation journey. So take a case that I'm currently sitting on 12.1, and what is the option do I have? What should I do? Should I do nothing? Should I move to cloud? Should I go to some other system? So we are taking a use case for you and trying to help you out. What are the options which you have, and what are the options which we feel are good to go ahead, and how we are seeing that into the market with our customers. So first thing about do nothing. When you talk about the current system, the investment or the spending which you're doing is about the software which you purchase. So you'll be paying the annual maintenance charges with regards to the Oracle licenses which you're subscribed. That is one part of it. But surrounding to that, to make that happen and to be used by many of your employees, you would require to invest in hardware. To maintain that hardware, you would require people to do that management of it. And there are upgrades which are required on a periodic basis, which are required to be done. So this is one thing which we see are a cost-heavy component, and one of the consideration which you should have. The second component is about the features, the new features and the innovation. So if you're sitting on a 12.1, I'm sure that there are many good features which are available in 12.2, which I'll be taking forward into the next slide, are not available. And that is not helping you to make use of that system and enhance your processes. Not only that, if you talk about the innovation, which is artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, and other technologies, which are quite in demand, and people are making use of it and leveraging that to have a competitive advantage. That is something which we are seeing missing into the Oracle E-Business Suite 12.1 at this point of time. We talk about the scalability. It's an enterprise version, but what happens over here, our time goes into the maintenance of it to keep the lights on, and also the customizations which might have been built from long years are required to be maintained and are very heavy in nature, which does not allow you to be agile. As we talked about the determined support period, so that is going to end. So 12.1 is very soon, December 2021. So I would request to check the options and try to see what kind of business case which you would like to put forward for the next coming years. ERP upgrades are painful, need not to say. I guess whosoever are there in Oracle E-Business Suite, or let's say in SAP on-premises system, would be aware how difficult it is to upgrade and how difficult and time intensive and the dollar or the value intensive it is. So this is how we see doing nothing. It should not be an option. Neither it will allow you to have a competitive advantage, nor it will allow you to give a better experience to your customers as well as employee. So we suggest to rule out this option considering the situation we are in. there would be a notion of, let's say, why don't we go away with the cost which you are incurring on, let's say, support of maintenance of hardware and infrastructure and other thing. So that could be a second option which you can think of that is to move to infrastructure as a service. Now, if you go over here, what are the good things we are going to get? So one thing is for sure going to happen, and we have seen many of the customers are doing it. And this pandemic situation is required to have a lot of the fast action which you take. So we have seen customers moving from on-premises system to infrastructure as a service in less than 6 weeks of time. If you are really interested, we can provide you the proof case, and we can also discuss with you how we can enable your journey in that regards. What you're going to save over here, you're going to save the hardware. So the hardware which you're currently having and the maintenance of it is going to go away, and that is going to be managed by Oracle. So that is some benefit which you can get. And rather than going physically to the place where you are in this COVID situation and a pandemic situation, you can always rely on Oracle team to manage your hardware and your infrastructure. The second thing which you always get over here is many of the times we spend our energy to manage or keep the lights on. That is something would be taken care by Oracle. But when you talk about the customization, when you talk about the other part which are linked with the application layer, are not going to change. So still, if you go to infrastructure as a service, the business value which you are able to generate out of the Oracle Cloud, that is going to be a miss. That is how we see it could be an option to start with, but that could be an initial stage. You need to move to the SaaS side so that you get more benefits of cloud. And this is how we have seen many of our customers doing that. The third component is about upgrading to eBusiness Suite. I'm sure that many of you would be excited to see what are the new features there in 12.2.9 and how they can, whether we should embrace that or not. So we see good level of features are getting added. If you talk about the enterprise command center, that has been a unified place where you can have sub modules, whatever you're looking and command it. When we talk about the leasing and the leasing part of IFRS compliance, another part that is very much good in 12.2, and many of the customers who are looking for that features are thinking of going to 12.9. But again, these features are limiting to the application which we spoke about. So there could be addition of the feature within the application, but that will still not allow you to go to the innovation part. What cost do we need to incur to get this features or to get this advantage? So you would be required to invest additional dollars, as you are aware, if you're done from the previous version to the current version. There might be a requirement to upgrade your hardware and operating system, considering the features what you're going to use and what is the additional model which you are planning to use. And the ongoing cost of maintenance in future upgrades, that is going to be retained. The future upgrades would be a bit lesser because we are not going to get 12.3, so you might not have a major upgrade coming and too much investment to that, but still there will be upgrades into the business suite which are required to be taken care of, considering your customizations which are been done. To summarize the upgrade EBS part, you will get a new feature for sure. That is a good thing which you are going to get, but innovation is something which would be difficult or would be missing when you go for that option. If you talk about the determined support period, if you upgrade it, that is going to be good because you have a visibility that for next 10 years, the eBusiness Suite is going to be supported with the same price what you currently have. The painful and disruptive traditional ERP upgrades which you have for 5 years, that is going to be a bit lesser, but still you have to maintain and do the customization upgrade, which is again a difficult task. Now let's see how Oracle Cloud comes into the picture. And we have done a lot of analysis and a lot of, let's say, total cost of ownership and the ROI plan for many of our customers. And we see majority of the problems what you face in on-premises systems are getting away when you go to Oracle Cloud. It's not to say that life would be very, very good into the Oracle Cloud. There are challenges which are coming over there, but the challenges which you are talking are a different level altogether. They are more about how we can harness the digital value from the systems and how we can embrace the latest technology. That kind of paradigm shift we are seeing when it comes to Oracle Cloud. Let me give you a glimpse of it with regards to how both of them compare with each other. So let's say if you're staying into the eBusiness Suite part, you are having a traditional on-premises model. Whereas when you go to the Oracle Cloud, that is a combination of a lot of good things which you have in on-premise system. That is a product called as Fusion. So the goodness of PeopleSoft, goodness of JD Edwards on the manufacturing side, and all this are being embraced and put into the Oracle Cloud as a single platform and single solution. It's an enterprise solution, so both of them are tick. When you talk about the upgrades in eBusiness Suite, you have, let's say, yearly upgrades. That is also versioning updates which you are seeing. But when it comes to the Oracle Cloud, it is automatic. quarterly in nature, and swifter than the e-business suite. So the intensive or the work which you have to do in the Oracle Cloud is pretty less or negligible than the e-business suite upgrades which you are used to do. When you talk about the innovation, one of the key item which Oracle is investing upon, all the applications which are working that are getting embedded within the cutting edge technology. So the machine learning is not going to be a silo. Machine learning is going to check what is your pattern of approval, and that will learn by time, and it automatically suggests rather than doing the manual work. The IoT part, which is a Internet of Technology, that things are not going to be silo. It is going to be embedded within the maintenance process of your Oracle Cloud application, so that you have an end-to-end visibility and you can do the automation. So the things which you were not even able to think before can be put into the practical approach, and you can harness the value out of it. When you talk about the customization, I'm sure this is something which is always close to your heart. And when there is a talk of cloud, you always have a question: what will happen to my customization? Whether I'll be able to harness the value of this thing or not? What is going to happen for this particular item? So to make sure the customizations are not going to be possible in Oracle Cloud, but we have a platform layer which will help you to do the extensions which are very much required for the organization. It will help you to save your time. It will also help you to get agile and use the standard processes which are embedded into Oracle Cloud. When you talk about the interface, about the reporting, I'm sure that many of the business users who are currently today in the sessions would be facing a lot of issues when they want a specific report from the system. Now, this system, so the Oracle Cloud, has been made for business, where they can create the reports by their own. So there are standard technology which are embedded in Oracle, which is OTBA, Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence, where the business person can create the report and mold the things by drag and drop. This is the power which has been given to the business rather than spending a lot of time on admin activities. And we see the cost which you incur for the Oracle Cloud against the business value is very good. So business value is higher than the business suite part. If I take and talks about the numbers, I can see there are some finance people who are over here who are concerned about what happens to the total cost of ownership. With the reports which we have done in past, and we are more than happy to have a TCO report created specially tailor-made for you, where you can check what you have currently and what Oracle Cloud will provide you as a value, and what would be the cost which would be incurring. So that is something we are more than happy to do. We have seen many of our customers are getting 50% lesser TCO what they were currently investing on e-business suite. When I talk about the forecast accuracy in other part, so that is one of the key criteria when we say about the component into the business suite. So the EPM and the ERP part are getting clubbed as a ERPM. So you have a bundle offering, and you have a better way of doing the things which you had to do a disjoint way into Oracle business suite and the Hyperion part, or some other third-party planning and budgeting system which you might have. We see the return on investment. So the every penny which you're going to spend for the Oracle Cloud or any new system, and considering this pandemic situation, we have a proven delivery model, which is our value-based delivery offering, where we do not only help you to know where you are currently to set the right KPIs for your business, but also provide a power to measure and monitor that KPIs, so that you understand whether you are going in a right direction or not. Otherwise, we have seen if you don't keep your success criteria measurable, then there are chances of flowing down in a different level, and you might not be able to see whether you have received the right success value out of it or not. So this is how we are completely molding our offering and making sure that every penny you spend on the technology, you're able to reap better ROI out of it. For the CIOs, there is one diagram which I wanted to show. So this is how it is going to happen. The activities which I was referring, which is on the right hand side, are about the on-premises system. When it comes to the Oracle Cloud, you are going to have an IT support and the cloud subscription. That is the only cost which you're going to incur. So it is going to move from CapEx to the OpEx, and we are more than happy to create a collaborate report for you as a plan as a business case. I was referring about the Oracle Cloud. So these are the standard applications which you'll be using. So the standard, let's say, Fusion Financials, which is equivalent to your EBS Financials, where you get accounts payables, accounts receivable, fixed asset cash management, and general ledger. Not only that, any of the product which you pick. So let's say you're only going for the financials at the start. What you are also going to get is the analytics along with that. So the OTBA which I was referring, you did not to buy separately. any of the component which you buy, you get along with that. So that is one of the benefit which you have seen people are taking, so that they can do the transactions within the system and get the reporting once the transaction has been done. I was talking about IoT, machine learning specifically. IoT is again, let's say, a separate component for the supply chain. But when it comes to the machine learning, that has been embedded within the financials part. So now, if let's say you are getting and currently the invoices from your supplier physically, and then you have to have one person who takes the invoices, types in into the systems, and then after submits for the approval. We have seen the time taken for this is getting very high. To make this happen, the embedded technologies are being used, where you can have an OCR, it scans the physical paper and automatically provides the information to you in a draft mode, where you can do the validation and confirm and send it for the submission. This is how we are seeing that practical ways of reducing time on doing the admin activities and using the same time for the analysis and doing better work out of it. If you talk about the HCM part, I saw many of you are from SAP world also. So you talk about SAP world, then you have an offering of SAP ECC HCM, which is a basic HCM portfolio of SAP part. If you want to go for a talent management, then you have to go to a success factor for the advanced talent management part. Now we have seen this is one of the problem in many of our customers. When you check the Oracle part of it, you get a complete conglomerate within the single bouquet. You don't have to depend on a different data models, which is currently the case with SuccessFactor and ECC. You don't have to depend on different vendors or different application layer to get value out of HCM. So you may want to start with the basic HCM part, but you can extend that with the talent management and other components going forward. This is the power, and this is the way we have seen people are taking advantage of Oracle portfolio in an overall perspective. I was having one use case with regards to one of the customer in North America who were having a target of doubling their profit in next 5 years, and they wanted to reduce the manpower, wherein one manpower can serve more than 10 let's say compressors or the machines that they were doing. They checked, if I do that traditionally without having a latest technology or IoT in place, how long it is going to take and how much it is going to take. And then they did it with the same with regards to IoT and embracing other technology. The results were really shocking. So it was almost 5 times the cost they had to incur if they do not go with the latest technology and try to achieve that profit. And that is how they're embracing that part. And that customer is currently under the process of getting and harnessing the value of it. And we are sure as and when it comes, we are more than happy to tell you a success story and how they will able to achieve to understand that part of the thing. The CX component, which is very important at this point of time. So take any brick and mortar retail organization who are currently not available on, let's say, online, is going to have difficult times. So how fast you can go to the, let's say, your customers, how fast you can help them to get the orders and help them to see what transactions or where the orders are currently. That is something which we are seeing, and how it will help you to have end-to-end cycle of it. This is how we see Oracle Cloud is helping many for customers, and this could be a value addition for you depending on what kind of organization you are currently in. To make this happen, so we understood this part, and with our 13 years of experience with regards to on-premises as well as cloud technology, we have learned and we have taken all of our learnings and combined into one of the package of the program which we are calling as Evosys Glide, which does not only relate to the ERP or the financials part, it is end-to-end with regards to ERP, HCM, and the EPM component. The thing which we wanted to tell, and we have seen many of the customers doing that, you can adapt to a new process. So you might be fearing that I don't want to go completely cloud at one go. So you can start using one of the process, like a sourcing module of Oracle Cloud. If you don't have an advanced procurement, you can have an coexistence approach where basic e-business suite procurement can be written, and you can club it with the coexistence approach of sourcing. You may want to move a business function. So let's say currently you don't have a talent management implemented in your business suite or in your, let's say, SAP ECC. You would like to have a coexistence model where you would like to have a talent management of Oracle Fusion integrated within your base ERP of HCM part. So that is something which you can also think of. And largely we have seen many of the customers are transforming end to end. This is not to say that they started and end it in, let's say, 6 months of duration, but they have a proper plan where they phase out this part, and with the duration of certain period, they do the complete transformation from e-business suite and to Oracle Cloud. Now, if I do without any accelerators or assets on this scenario, it would take ages for me to complete. To make this happen, we have a standard solutions which can be leveraged by the customers. So you talk about the 30 pre-built business solution. So we get a question that there are some specific customization which we have done, like a property management solution, or it could be a treasury management solution, and that is not directly available as is what is there in Oracle e-business suite. How we can get that? How we can solve that problem? We have taken this as a challenge, and we have created a solution specifically to cater that need. So you can always have a library check from our side and see whether that solution is available rather than developing from the scratch. You talk about the data migration, we have assets which will help you to do end-to-end data migration from extraction, transformation, and loading. These are the assets which are created and we have used in many for customers. This is how we see people are harnessing the value and able to reach to Oracle Cloud in a faster way than before. Not only doing the way about the implementation and the journey which I was referring, but we make sure we use latest technology during the implementation. So take a case where we want to do a UAT, user acceptance testing. Now we utilize latest technology in RPA and have robotics process been done to do that testing. If I want to do a setup configuration from one instance to another, we use RPA to move that configuration from one to another place. So this is how we are embracing technology on our side, and we also suggest customer, like you must be having an IT organization who is supporting your business for the queries which they might be getting from the system. You can have a chatbot plugged in over there, and you can feed in them the resources with regards to Q&A or FAQs, which could be answered by the robots. If there are any specific questions which are very complex in nature, that is where you get your involvement and you utilize that time in that part. This is some of the values we have seen people are taking, and this could be also applicable for you. These are some of the customers we have done. So as I speak, we have more than 75 customers where we have implemented this Glide program and as a on-premises e-business suite to Oracle Cloud in specific. This are on the left hand side, you can see we have variety of customers. So if you are only having a financials and you're having a third-party system at this point of time, you only want to change the financials part. We have done that in record-breaking time of 12 weeks. So if you're a single pillar organization, we are more than happy to provide you as a proof case, and we can see what value we can bring on the table for you. There could be a complex customer like we had in London Borough of Lambeth, where they were having a cross-pillar implementation of ERP, EPM, HCM, and now they're also embarking the journey for CX. And we have done this part in past, and we can also leverage the values or the learnings which we have. So and so is case about the NEP part. On the right hand side, we see there are not many customers who are globally being done. So the global learnings which are getting from the government sector, from the commercial sector, from the higher education sector, that all learning gets embedded within this Glide program, and it comes as a value addition whenever we go for a transformation journey for you. This is a customer testimonial. I see we have around 18 or 20 minutes of time, so probably I will not go through to the video, but I would really request all of you, as soon as we send this one, to go through this video. So this is a classic case where you do not only see application as application. Lambeth had a vision of future 2025, where one of the key aspects what they wanted to achieve has to be more mobile. So before this pandemic situation, they already knew to do the cost reduction and to make sure to give the freedom to their employees, they have to make the system as a mobile. And they have taken this approach. Although Oracle is not the complete transformation part of it, but that is one of the key component which helps them to be enable that part. Second was about the agility. So the cost of, let's say, physical offices, that is something very very high, and that has been understood by Lambeth, and they wanted to reduce this and wanted to see how we can better leverage that part. So they were able to reduce the number of offices, and also in a way they were able to give the freedom to the employees as well as customer to connect them in a digital way. That is how we are seeing that Lambeth has taken the benefit out of it.
Let's chat.
Second is about the higher education. I was referring, it is not necessary to go for end-to-end solution at one go. So this is a classic case where they were using ERP as well as HCM on e-business suite. They were having a problems with regards to HCM into the e-business suite. So they have taken a first phase to go for an HCM, and in the second phase they've gone for the ERP part of it. The challenges which are mentioned on the left hand side are relating with the regards to the self-service that I see is one of the key component for the team in UK and Europe, where you want less pressure at a cost center of the centralized support. You want more people to be independent and do self-service activity. That is really some of the key KPIs which you are seeing in many of the customers to whom we are speaking. A third was about the data visibility, which they are not able to get, and they're able to get this solution. Either they're getting this challenge is resolved directly, or they're in the process of doing that. So that is how we are seeing they're taking end-to-end process understanding, and now with the combination of both of it, they're able to get a better value out of it. Taking a case of the commercial part, so services is something, let's say, which is with the complexity of the manufacturing part, or let's say the drilling. They have a different challenges altogether. This is one of the case, Gulf Drilling International. They're into business of drilling in the state of Qatar. They were having an e-business suite similar to the customers which you're talking about, and also they wanted to migrate some historical data which they had, where they were not sure how it will happen and how it will look like when they go to the Oracle Cloud. That was some of the challenges that they were facing. A couple of other challenges where the systems. So let's say there could be a case where for the financials you are using e-business suite system, but for the projects you are using third-party system. Now that you get the advisory part where you can really check whether having a two system is good for me, or if I combine that into a single platform, that is benefit for me. And Gulf Drilling was no different. They combined this part over here and put up into Oracle Fusion. So not necessary what you have in e-business suite goes to Oracle Cloud. You add that modules and the functionalities which you'd like to have to achieve the target result. It is a cross-pillar implementation ranging from ERP, HCM, financials, and the complete conglomerate of warehouse management system end-to-end solution. The benefits with regards to the Glide that has been appreciated by customers. The 2B business blueprint, which is required to be taken when you go to the Oracle Cloud, because it is not required or it is not necessary to go as is where you were, because there could be n number of situations where that kind of configuration was done or the situation was created. You can always make sure that you go in a better situation to the new system. With that, I will take a pause for a moment, and I would like to understand when you talk about the digital transformation journey, at what stage are you currently in? Whether you are just starting in, whether you are in between of some transformation, or whether it is like, say, you already completed the ERP implementation, or you might not be sure what to do it. If you can just help me put forward that information so that I can pick up the other part. Yeah, I can see good amount of people starting at the initial stage, and some of them are in between. That's good to know. Okay, for the time consideration, I will be closing the poll and will put forward the result. So we can see more than 50% are currently at the initial stage, followed by, let's say, in between the transformation, and 20% I guess still I'm not sure where they are, but that is something I guess we can always consider to put forward it. I will hide the results for now and take the subsequent slides. This is the program which I was referring to, Evosys Glide. So it does not only talk about the technology part or the technical implementation which we do, it also covers the business value what we can bring on the table. Depending on the situation or the transformation journey where you are, we can pick and choose and tailor-made this journey. If you are just starting the business case, then we can help you to do a quick assessment for your current EBS, help you to get key insights. This is one of the offering which we are really proud of, where we not only help you to understand what module you should have, but why you should have that module, or what kind of functionality you should configure, what kind of KPIs you should have in your business. We do the baselining and benchmarking with you and make sure that we work together to achieve this. Advisory is something where we help you to understand that what are the technologies which you can embrace. If the chart of account was not been configured well, or that is not as per the business practices, that is something which we help you to get better when we go for it for the Oracle Cloud. And so on and so forth. I'm sure that many of you who are joining from the UK part are aware with regards to one methodology of adopt, which is our implementation methodology that has been embraced with the assets, which helps us to accelerate the overall journey, followed by the cloud and decision support, which is the value-based dashboard. If this is about the business transformation consulting, This is about the implementation, how we do best implementation of it. The end part is about the realization. And now we have seen many of the other vendors are not really keen with regards to what happens after the go live is done. That is the actual time where you start realizing the value. And we have a specific offering which will help you to understand that part and harness the value out of it. I may run a bit quicker, just for the sake of time, and I'll be sharing this deck with you so that you get more information. And we would also like to have some time for the Q&A for the rest of the minutes. So this is the Adopt to Cloud, where it is end-to-end implementation methodology of ours, which does not only talk about the technology, but you have quality assurance and the change management embedded within it. I was talking about the assessment. So we have understanding of both the world. So we understand that what was there in e-business suite and how it would look like in Oracle Cloud. So many of the feature like operating unit is one of the way where you define your structure. That is now called as a business unit in Oracle Cloud. And we help you to understand and get adopted to the Oracle Cloud. We have done the feature learning of it. There is a library which can be made available to you where you can have that understanding and also reciprocate the same thing to your end users. The process mapping which I was referring to, so we have created a mapping which says that what are the features which are available in the business suite and also available in Oracle Cloud. Not only that, what are the additional features which you can make use of? So this is really liked by many of our prospects when they say this one. So let's say if you're not using the budget versioning in e-business suite, that is something which you'd like to make use of when you go to the Oracle Cloud. So you have a ready-made understanding of that part, and then you can pick and choose going forward for your transformation journey. This is available for all the modules which you are referring to with regards to ERP, HCM, and the EPM component. These are the accelerators. I was talking about the data migrator. So we help you to do the migration of data end to end. That is from extraction, transformation, and loading. And we have the solution for the open transaction as well as for the historical data, how we can help you to get that data right in shape to the new system. Pre-configured system. So many of you are from the council and other industries. We would have a pre-configured system where we can help you to make you visualize how your processes would look like into Oracle Cloud quick and easy, rather than taking a lot of time into the requirement gathering. So that is something which has been appreciated by the customers, and it is helping us to increase and accelerate the overall project duration. The value-based delivery. So again, we are not here to just do the implementation part. We are here to make sure you get the value of every penny of investment which you made on us and made us on technology. And we help you with regards to the tools which will help you to measure and monitor. This is the advisory services which I was referring to with regards to the chart of account. So many of you who are working in technology part, they can refer this part where the customization which you might have done on the e-business suite, let's say for the Oracle form, what would happen to that? So that is some mapping which we have already made, and we are more than happy to discuss at length with regards to the technical complexity which are involved to provide you the right understanding. Now, is there ROI for the customer? So this is one of the program I was referring to DTU. We run this program for them. It is our insight program, which talks about the KPIs, the key performance indicators. Either you might have already set that KPIs, or we can have a collaborative sessions to understand what KPIs would you like to achieve, and we do the baselining and benchmarking for it. Once we do that, we take the same thing into implementation, and we provide you the measurable tools where you can know whether you are going in a right direction or not. I'll take a quick use case of it. So let's take a case of a finance. I want to create a payment processing time. I want to reduce that payment processing time. These are the KPIs which are involved. So let's say a supplier is sending you an invoice. The invoice is getting entered into the system, and system generates the invoice, and it is going for the approval for your manager. Once it has been approved, it is coming as a notification to you, and it is ready for the payment. So this is the 5-step process which happens within the system, or let's say within the system and the person which are going to do. How much time are we really taking? So many of the time people are not aware what is the time we are taking as a baseline. So that is fine. Sometimes if you are aware, we take it as a baseline, and then we put up a benchmark with regards to the industry benchmark and the processes we would like to take. Once it has been done, we put the mutual ownership, what is going to be done by customer and what is going to be done by Evosys, and we do the measurement. To do the measurement, we have created a value-based dashboard. These are the dashboards which runs on top of Oracle Cloud, which are built on OTBI and the BIP, which is embedded reporting technology available in Oracle Cloud. It helps you to exactly know how much time are you taking currently. Is it 10 days or 20 days? If it is 10 days, what are the areas you should be taking into consideration to reduce it and make it better for you as well as for the employees of yours. Is it internal problem or is it an external problem? So that is something also will help you. Whether the suppliers themselves are sending invoice late, then you can always know from here. And if it is the case where there is a bottleneck within your organization, where you have a lot of pressure with regards to some of the employee working on the payables department, that is some action which you can take. This is about the process adoption. So many of you would be CIO and the CTO would be really looking forward for this kind of solution where they can know how many features are being used from the Oracle Cloud. What are my users who are using this system, so that I can train them in a better way if they're not making use of, or if there is a problem of, let's say, a lack of training, that is something which we can always groom upon. This has been valued by many of our customers. One of the customers, just to give a closing note before I hand over to Jens, they utilize this value-based dashboard. So they started a journey, like 17% of you were in between the transformation journey of Oracle Cloud. They implemented this solution from Oracle Cloud with another vendor. And they were really not sure whether they are able to get the right value of the Oracle Cloud investment or not. We went to that customer and we suggested, why don't you subscribe our, let's say, managed service part, and we help you to do the quick value-based assessment for you. Now, this value-based assessment is done with our value-based dashboard, where we deploy our dashboard and see where are the problems happening, where are the bottlenecks which are there. Once we analyze this information, we discuss with them and tell them that this is how we see, and this could be the areas where you can improve upon. For this particular customer, we're able to identify $80,000 which were been done duplicated invoice which have been paid to the supplier. That is something which was, let's say, shocking for them. And then after they created controls to make sure that this doesn't happen and doesn't get repeated. Second unique case, when we go for a longer approval cycle. So when we go for a new system, you always feel, I want a more control in the system. I want each and every transaction to be done in a appropriate way. And then we put up a lot of rigid, let's say, processes around that. This customer is no separate. They were almost spending more than 100 hours just to do the approval. And this was something, if you convert this into the dollar value, then you will feel that what is the cost which they're incurring. And they were really happy to see this kind of information, which helped them to understand that they can improve upon this part, and they can recycle their SLA part, which is currently set at a low level, at a higher level, so that people do not spend too much time on the admin activity. This is how we have seen people harnessing the value of it. Regardless of any place in your digital transformation journey you are. So let's say you might be in a place where you are creating a business case. We can run an insight program for you, where we help you to understand what could be the KPIs for your transformation and what could be the baseline and benchmarking for it. So your business case becomes a powerful, let's say, message to your board. If you're already in place of, let's say, implementation and configuration, and you want to know whether you are ready for the go live or not, we can install our dashboard for you in the UAT part and tell you how many of users are using this and whether you are ready to go live or not. If you are at a part where the implementation is already done and currently on Oracle Cloud, then we can deploy this value-based dashboard and harness the value and provide you better value out of it. That was the pointers from my side. Jens, would you like to take a closing, and then we can take a Q&A part as per the time which we have?
Yes, well, first of all, thanks, Vikas, and thanks everybody for staying online. It's I know an hour is still long, even in these times where we all sit at home, but we all have a lot to do, obviously. Now, I would then ask Nivida to open. Should there be any questions from your side, we would take them right now. I know we only have 2-3 minutes left. We can stay a little bit longer, but I don't know what that is for you. So, Nivida, can we open this up for questions? Okay, I can see there are some questions online already. There was one question whether we have upgraded into Oracle Cloud in the FMCG area industry. And I did answer that directly to the person. And yes, we did. We have a couple of customers in that area, and I'm more than happy to send out some reference templates that can describe these. So, Peter, if you could maybe drop me an email or or I will try to find your email and send it back to you. There is another question. Maybe you can answer that, Vikas. The question was, is OCR for invoice scanning not also available in 12.2? I think it is, but
yeah, 12.2. I haven't checked that particular component, but for sure it is available into the Fusion. I can take as a question from you about the EBS part and revert back whether it is directly available out of the box or not.
These are the questions that have been posted to us. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to? I don't think so. Well, then I would say thank you to everybody. If you have any questions later on, feel free to post them to the mail addresses you can see online here. We will send around, obviously, the slides from today to everybody and follow up with you then on the topics. So thanks for today. Stay healthy and have a nice day.
Thank you.